and welcome to another video on Google Drive. This video today is going to be about folders within Google Drive. As you can see, I have a number of different folders here in my Google Drive. I'm going to show you different tips and tricks and some different things like that, how to move things, how to take folders and share them with other people, how to nest folders, how to take something that is shared with you and actually copy it right over to your drive so it's easier to access and it's in a better location maybe for you logistically so it's easier to get to. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a folder. Now, creating a folder is actually very straightforward. Again, if I didn't have these folders here, I can do one of two things. I can literally go to this blank space right here and right click. And at that point, it comes up with a menu and I have the ability right there to click new folder. That'll create me a new folder. I can also go up to this My Drive drop down and create a new folder there. I can also go to new and create a new folder there. So again, as you can see, it's very intuitive, and no matter where you are in that process of wanting to create a folder, wherever that is, it really makes those tools very easy and very accessible to you. Let's go ahead and we'll create a new folder. We're gonna call it test. And so there, as you can see, there is my test folder. Now again, notice that there isn't any activity there. The details are just basically, I just created it today, which is again really interesting and nice for you to be able to have. Notice though that when I have this folder highlighted, I have some options that appeared up here at the top. The first one is I can get a link. Now this is a great tool because if I want to share just the link out and I don't want to physically assign an email address to it, but I just want to give it out as a link, which I can then turn off and on as I want to, I can click that button and it will give me a shared link that I can send out to people and they can access that folder through that link. So this is great if you want to auto-generate a link every semester to a folder. You can change the link address of that folder. That way, it doesn't always, it's not connected to specific people. You can connect it to specific people if you want to. Again, it's really honestly your preference, which is where connecting it to specific people would be this next button right here. So if I want to connect to specific people or share it with specific people, I can. So right here is where I can enter in either names or email addresses if they're in my contacts. If you're using Google Apps for Education, anybody that is in that domain would be able, their names would populate in here. So for example, if I share it with the people that are in my center, notice my contact, anything that has that word in it comes up. And so I have an email group right here that has 6 different people in it. So I can click there, it adds all of those people to that folder. I can then set permissions for that folder so that they can edit. This right now gives them the ability to edit anything that would be in the folder. This is a great feature because what I can do with this is instead of having to share specific documents, so if there's 10 documents in a folder, I would have to share each of those documents with a group of people or an individual to give them permission to edit. Here, anything that is in the folder automatically gets those attributes, which is really, really nice. Although, the same time, take into consideration that if you have a file that's in a folder and you've set specific permissions for that file, this kind of trumps all of that. So if there's a file in there that you don't want anybody to edit, you may not want to set those permissions for that folder right there. Maybe it's just a can view and kind of going that direction. And then you can add notes if you want to. Here's again where you can get a shareable link, and then with that link you can determine again what you want anybody to be able to do with it. Right? I can make it public. I can make it so anybody that has the link has access to it. Only people within my Google Apps community, anyone that is in that community that has the link, and then if I take this off, then obviously it's only with the specific people that have access. And then again, I can view and can edit from there as well. And we can just toggle that link sharing, and then when you click it, it automatically copies it to the clipboard, which again is really, really nice. Advanced features, this is again nice as well. I can notify people when they get it as far as their sharing permissions are concerned. This right here is my setting, which is nice. So again, if I don't want anybody to be able to share it out to anybody else, I just want those people that have access to it to only have access, I can click this button right here. And now what that means is that basically I can prevent anybody from changing access or adding new people. So then nobody but me at that point has the ability to change access. So they can't send it out to anybody or share it with anybody else, and no one new can be added. Only I can do that. So again, it gives you some pretty robust features if you want them. You will notice though, when you do share a folder or a folder is shared, it takes on a different icon, the folder does. So again, you can see here that this is a folder that's just mine, I just created it, but here's a folder that's been shared. And so you see there's that difference too. So when you're looking at it visually, you'll know right away. Another thing that you can do with folders is I can change the color. So if I right click, it gives me a bunch of those options as well. I can share, get a link. We'll talk about this move to feature here in a second, but I can also change the color. So for those of you that like to color coordinate your folders, you have that ability to do that as well. And maybe if you're creating a group and in the subgroups, maybe when you're creating assignments for your class, this might be a really good way to organize student groups. That way you can assign them a colored folder within a specific folder that everybody has access to. Again, it's completely up to you how you would want to do that. And if I click on this folder, now I have this comes up and I can actually drop files right into my folder. So I could, if I grab this file, notice that it says incoming. I just grabbed it off my desktop and drug it right over, and I can drop it in and it will literally upload right there, and there it is. There is my file that is now in that folder, which is pretty amazing. Now with that file in the folder, that file also gives me a bunch of different options within Google Drive. So now I can share it, I can get a link, I can move it, I can do all kinds of different things with that specific file if I wanted to. Let's create a couple of different folders in here. So we'll call this one group 1. We'll call this one group 2. And this one's group 3. I can come in here really quickly if I wanted to start changing some colors. You'll notice that the color changes automatically. I have a red group, green group, and a blue group. Really, really spectacular. Really easy to again, assign information out or create folders, create group folders if I wanted to do that. Thank you very much for your time. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. Have a nice afternoon.